Watch Who?
Hello!
And welcome to Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Yeah, watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're still here at the Palace Theatre in Victorian times. We haven't moved since last time, but we are here tonight.
We're just 3-4 weeks. We're still here.
We're stuck here.
And I'm running the palace.
Yep, and you all have your VIP tickets to the season 14 Doscars. Yay! Welcome everybody. I trust you all had your canapes on the way in, served by the lovely robots of Not Death. So yeah, here we are. Everybody's in. I can see everybody here sitting around. We've got Eldrad and her crew up there in the box. We've got Giuliano and Marco. They've arrived together.
Yeah. I see that from the Muppets, we've got
all the Muppets here.
all the Muppets here. We've got the old guys from the theatre.
Yeah, we have. We've got absolutely wonderful entertainment in the bar from Martin McCutcheon later on. So she'll be doing the whole of My Fair Lady to make up for when she didn't do it last time. We've got Professor Watson and Miss Jackson. Looking very smart tonight. We got all of the crew of the Sand Miner here in all of their wonderful hats. It's looking great, isn't it? It's looking great out there.
It looks fair.
Yeah, and we've got obviously Ghoul and Casey helping us out on the stage tonight.
Yeah, although, I mean, yes, I agree.
And
the dungeon has been closed for the evening. The tours will commence again later.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got
dungeon, the canal, you know what I mean?
Actually, I don't know what you mean. I just said yeah.
You know, where like they had where the giant rat was and stuff.
Oh, the sewer. Oh, yes, the sewers and everything. Yeah. Well, that's where
all that is going to be closed while the ceremony's on, but after the ceremony they'll commence post-ceremony tours.
I think the Master and the Time Lords are conducting the tours down there later on, so you can all do that. So yes, it's season 14. We never get over getting through another season, do we?
I think you said season 16 at the start.
No, did I?
I think you did, because when you went 14 then it threw me.
Oh. I'll say welcome to the season 14 Doscars at the end, just in case, and I can edit it in. Let's start that again. Well, yep, season 14, another season down.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a big change, this one. Like, a lot has happened. Like, we started out with Sarah Jane, just carrying on as usual after 3 years, and then right at the end, we've got Leela, My Fair Lady, with a knife, and the Doctor of Sherlock Holmes. It's big, a lot has happened. Different console room this season, a lot more horror. So, yeah, I think it's fitting that we're in Victorian times for this one. And this ceremony, we have a few extra categories to announce. So our members would know about this, but we haven't officially announced this yet. We've got 2 new categories as demanded by our listeners. We probably wouldn't have chosen to do them because it makes the Doscars extra long. But no, it's worth it. It's worth it to get down and find out what people like or what we like. What am I talking about?
I don't know. We can't do every category. I'm just going to put that out as a caveat, but we've added these 2.
Yes, yeah. So no more requests for categories. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough to go through them all.
It is tough. It is tough.
It is a test of memory a lot of the time as well for both of us to go through these.
Yeah, just remembering the season sometimes. I find that hard. But, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, we better start then because we've got a lot to get through. And so here we go. Lights down, everybody. Is Katerina doing the lights tonight? Yeah, there she is.
Buttons,
yeah, she's doing the buttons. It's a very more sort of simplified version actually because it's Victorian times. My theatre technical knowledge of Victorian times. They would have had an electrical light, wouldn't they?
Oh, I don't know. I guess so.
There, they must have.
It wouldn't have been candles, would it? So they must have.
I'm just trying to think because obviously you see on TV all the recreations.
Do you think it would have just been more like the spotlights though running
But
through?
even like a massive spotlight, that would have been a lot of electricity, wouldn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
are we just talking like complete nonsense and everybody
I
like
don't know. I think I'm overthinking
and everybody
it now.
knows? Oh, okay.
No.
Well, anyway, Katerina's up there doing whatever she's doing to make this place look amazing. And also, I should say, all of our findings tonight and announcements will obviously be double-checked and corroborated with our now independent adjudicator Lucas on our wiki page. Thank you so much. I've got it up in front of me in case we need to reference anything. It's so handy. So I'm sure he's up there with Katerina somewhere listening in.
Yes. It's like, that is literally like at Eurovision when the results will come through and we have to go to the official adjudicator.
Yeah, he's always going to be there now at the Doscars for us. So we've got backup. Right, okay. Best villain first. The nominees for best villain are Eldrad, the Hand of Fear.
Strange form or not, Eldrad lives!
Zoannon, the Face of Evil.
Destroy and be free! Destroy and be free!
Taran Capel, the Robots of Death.
Here are your further orders, Seven.
And Magnus Greel, the Talons of Weng Chiang.
No, Sin, you fool! Stop! Obey me, Sin! Obey Greel, your master!
Okay, so 4 very good contenders there.
We were pretty much the same, I think, on this, weren't we?
So we did think other people we thought about was Hieronymus from
The Mask of Mandragora.
the High Priest from that story as well, but he wore purple, that's all we remember, so...
Yeah.
Not... well, the Master didn't make it, and Chancellor Goth didn't make it. He was close. I did suggest Chancellor Goth, but we didn't really go for him. I think Magnus Greel or Weng Chiang had to be there because he was a big villain, big presence. And in Robots of Death, Taran Capel was he made that story. He was a good villain in that story. We also went for Zoannon, the computer.
We both agreed on that, didn't we?
Yeah, a bit of an unusual one, I think. But we've had evil computers before, like we said, like Boss and Votan and stuff. But Zoannon seemed to have a bit more of a personality and was part of that whole story. If Zoannon wasn't that mad villain behind it all, none of that would have happened.
Yeah.
So, and we loved Eldrad, didn't we?
Yes. Great villain.
But also one that was quite thoughtful and was a proper rounded character rather than just a shouty person. We didn't have Lee Sen Chang as well. We didn't include him in the end because he was sort of working for...
Yeah, we sort of like to be we were like not the real mastermind of it, more just benefiting and leading, you know?
Yeah, it was an interesting season because I think back
Hieronymus
in the 60s...
wasn't a person I had down on mine.
What, you wanted Hieronymus?
Yeah, that was on my list originally.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then I said not Hieronymus and Dask instead.
Yeah, I think if you had Hieronymus and Dask, I think
most of this we agreed on. I think that was the only one that we like.
I mean, Hieronymus, he was pretty bad.
Yeah, but in the same way that that's why we didn't have other guy on as well. So yeah.
Or would you like to announce the winner?
Yes. And the winner of Best Villain is Eldrad.
Yay! There we go.
Stage, Eldrad. Anyway, no, okay.
Here he is. No,
no
Where's
words.
Eldrad?
No words. Just running off.
No, just gone and got it.
Just gonna got it and run away.
Oh no, we had Ghoul on the piano there doing a little tune for us. Oh yeah, so Eldrad. Well, both versions of Eldrad were very memorable, and I'm just in a bit of shock that Eldrad just sort of did a grab and run. Then
I think that's very Eldrad, though, isn't it? Just like get in, get what I want,
get your hand in and go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Hand on the prize and run away.
Maybe a bit surprising for people because I think maybe like Taran Capel and Magnus Greel were sort of more evil. actually, because Eldred had that bit of a sympathy to begin with,
Well, particularly,
and then it changes.
I mean, there's 3 versions of Eldred, isn't there? There's a hand.
Well, yeah, okay, I don't really count the hand.
But it is...
Because the hand
But the hand is what influences Sarah Jane.
Yeah, okay.
So there's the hand, then it's the second form, and then we have the third. And the second form in particular is very good. Is very striking and strong and just really memorable. So, like, and we talked about that when we talked about the episode, like, just really great.
Yeah, I think, I was quite surprised that you liked Eldred so much. But I think it was that relationship, and it was pretty much the Dr. Sarah and Eldred in that last part of the story. So you got to spend a lot of time with them and find out. about
from episode
Eldred
3
and history.
onwards, yeah, it was just basically them.
Yeah. So very well done, very memorable, and I'm sure they will come up again in future. So before we go on to the next category, I'd just like to thank Henry Gordon Jago for use of the Palace Theatre tonight. He manages this place and has kindly donated the whole place for free. So there we go. Give a round of applause for Jago. And there are Terry Nation drinks being served behind the bar by the Vok robots. Edith has the night off. She's gone out on the town tonight. So I got all the robots to do all the catering and everything tonight.
Oh, fantastic.
So there we go. Edith's done a lot of Doscars, so she deserves a break. So
she deserves a knees up too. She's somewhere around the room.
Exactly. She's having a great time.
You know.
Yeah. Terry Nation's just everywhere we go, even in Victorian times.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go on to the next category: Best Monster.
Of course, yes, we only have 3, so that's the first thing to say. And the nominees for Best Monster are Eldrad, the Hand of Fear.
I created this world!
The robots in Robots of Death.
Orders accepted. I understand.
Mr. Sin in the Talons of Wen Chiang.
Yeah, only 3, because in terms of monsters, there wasn't that many this season. Well, cue everybody now tweeting us to say all the monsters we've missed, but I couldn't think of any others.
And Eldrad Monster is more the hand in form at this point, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm really confused about when. I just think it's all this. It is like Eldrad. It's sort of 50-50 as a monster, and for me, alien creature. If we're saying alien creature monster, then yes, and the look of Eldrad is amazing. I'm just talking about the being as well as the hand, not just the hand in the box. On the edge there, but we didn't really have any others. Like robots, they look amazing. They're doing a great job tonight, serving everything. Really strong look for them, and they were quite menacing.
The only other one we had on the list was the giant rat, and I was like, no, I can't. I'm not having that giant rat make the 3.
Well, yeah, giant rat would have. If giant rat was there, it would have been there just to make up the 4. And I mean, we've had other giant creatures, haven't we? And again, very as a monster, not deserving of an Oscar. And then Mr. Sin was actually a creature, wasn't it? Because it had like the heart of a pig and sort of a robot, wasn't it, with the heart of a pig? So
yeah,
I
monster creation.
Yeah, it's been very monster-like. We've had some seasons where there's so many monsters,
and
like
this one is not one of them.
They're more like human-y villains, even this lot. So yeah, it was quite tough. Okay, well, I'll open the envelope and find out. Hopefully Eldred's stay nearby just in case. And the winner of Best Monster is Mr. Sin, the Talons of Weng Chiang.
Yes, mate.
Whoa, here he is. He's got his knife. Ah! Keep away. There you go. Take it. He's scary. He's terrifying.
He is terrifying, and that is why he won Best Monster.
Yes.
He's terrifying.
Like, the robots were very close because they looked amazing, but that as a monster, I like that with especially going around with the knife, and even when Leela throws the knife at him, he carries on going. Like jumping out at that guy in the alleyway was really scary. So everyone, when you're leaving tonight, we've got extra bodyguards on outside. The robots will be doing double duty to make sure there's no Mr. Sins out there. So I think well deserving and really memorable, and everyone really likes that story. So I don't think that'll be a surprise. Next, my favourite, as always, and I always say that, best supporting character.
And this was a lot to choose from, but I think we have a good shortlist.
Yeah, so the nominees are Giuliano from
The Mask of Mandragora.
There's so much we could learn from you.
Spandrel from The Deadly Assassin,
I want to know all you can tell me about this master.
D84 from The Robots of Death,
Those letters were signed by Taran Capel.
and double act Jago and Lightfoot from The Talons of Weng Chiang.
I say! A funny thing happened to me. Has she got the gun? Hey! Who are you shooting at?
When I look at the list, there's so many people that we talked about. So, see Giuliano, you loved his legs.
I loved his leg.
And Marco as well was great in that. We had Dr. Carter, Professor Watson, Miss Jackson from Hand of Fear. I always say Miss Jackson, like she didn't actually do very much. She walked around with a massive pass on her, but still, she's always going to get a mention. Engin and Spandrel were the two old guys, but Spandrel was the more detective-y one.
And we liked him.
No one really from Face of Evil. We did say Thomas, but no one from Face of Evil really.
I mean, the thing is, the ones we've got, all right, Giuliano and his legs might be controversial, but equally really made that story. Like, was very much the supporting character of that story. Same as Spandrel was. Same as D84 was. Like, these were people that really were the ones that helped support our main characters to do their bits.
We also were talking about Paul from The Robots of Death.
Oh, yeah.
But because he was sort of helping quite a bit, but then he had that robophobia and didn't really do very much, just sort of hid under a table for most of the time. So he didn't really support the story as much. And I'm sorry, Paul is not able to come tonight because obviously all the robots are serving food. He had a bit of robophobia. So he's watching on the Time Space Visualizer at home. We're beaming it out to him.
Got a live stream going.
Yeah, so hopefully, Paul, you'll be all right. Just don't look at the robots. You'll be fine. Oh my God, imagine if Paul met Mr. Sin.
Oh my God.
He'd be terrified.
We're all
he's like
terrified.
that. If he's like that after meeting D84, meeting Mr. Sin, he definitely wouldn't be all right, would he?
Exactly.
We've all got robophobia after Mr. Sin.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Hell. And of course, Jago and Lightfoot, we put them together because they have got 13 series on audio and they work really well.
Are you commissioned on that, Mark?
No, I just think it's funny saying that every time. Can't say that about anyone else. I wish I could say
and
that.
You said Jago, and I was like, let's just agree that these two are a double act, and let's have them. Like, we both agreed, didn't we? I think you said it, and I was like, I'm happy for that. Like
in all fans' minds, they are always together.
Right. So then we just put them together as well, and that's why they're here together.
We didn't have Julio and Marco as a pair, though. We could have had.
We could have, but I didn't think of them that way, in the same way.
There we go, waving up to them in their box up there. I hope they're having a good night.
Julian's already showing us his legs.
Yeah, there they are, waving over the balcony.
He's on his fourth perination.
Yes. Also, I will have to shout out and just say, special mention, the ghoul was mentioned. I just hate calling her ghoul. I just think it's really weird.
Ghoul was mentioned, yes.
Ghoul was mentioned, but absolutely did not do enough, I'm sorry, to be a supporting character.
David.
I mean, Edith did more than Ghoul. Let's, a lot of. I mean, Katerina did more than Ghoul. So.
Oh, Katerina definitely did more than Ghoul.
Yeah, so it's just really weird because in the credits, the lady that played Ghoul is called Patsy Smart. I always think Patsy Smart is the name of the Victorian lady, but it's just weird that they didn't give her a name.
Yeah,
It could have just been Old Lady by the River or something. But
Old
Ghoul
Lady.
is just... Yeah, I just think... and he is in the credits, Ghoul. How odd. But I've said Ghoul enough now.
Yeah, that's enough ghouling.
And I mean, we talked about the guys on the Sand Miner. They're having a great time. They've got they've been mining for 2 months. They're having a great time at the bar here. They can't be pleased enough to be out of there and at the Doscars. But Zilda, Toos, Ivanov, they all get on now. They did all right, didn't they? But they weren't. They were stood out in other ways. Like, they stood out because he was a dickhead and she acted badly. Like, she didn't stand out as, oh my God, they're amazing support. So that's why they didn't make it.
No, the ones we've got here, this shortlist I'm very happy with.
Yeah. Okay. Would you like to announce the winner?
I would. And the winner of Best Supporting Character is... D84!
Hey!
Absolutely.
There we go. D84, put down those canapes. Put down those canapes and please come up here. There he is. Oh, great. There he goes. He's so great. He's actually not allowed to speak, is he? Because he's
which is why he's no words for us this evening.
So but he's very grateful. He looks very happy. He's given us a robot smile. No, yeah, he was really great, actually. We didn't talk about him a lot in our episode on that because there were so many other things to talk about, I think. But he did.
We talked about our love of him. We talked about how much we loved him.
We did, but we didn't go into so much detail. So we'll have to remember D84 for future, I think. Let's carry on. Now, here we go, everybody. A very exciting moment. Make sure you're all topped up and you're all ready for this, everybody. Right. Just wait for Martin McCutcheon to sit down. There we go. Right. New category, everybody. Best outfit, as suggested by some of our listeners. So
this comes from our Cloves Watch.
Yes. So best outfit. Shall I say the nominees? Yeah. Okay. So the nominees are Giuliano's tights and outfit in
Mask of Mandragora,
Sarah Jane's Andy Pandy outfit in The Hand of Fear, and Leela's theatre dress in The Talons of Weng Chiang. Yeah, so we only went for 3. I think people are going to be surprised that Leela's Face of Evil tribe outfit isn't there.
Yeah, we did talk about that, but I just thought the theatre dress was so striking. And, like, it was supposed to be her My Fair Lady moment, wasn't it? It was a great reference. It was a stunning dress. And it was the first real time, other than, like, that outfit that she's like, whoa, this is not the tribe woman that we've had the whole time. It was a real, like, this is a companion moment. I felt, anyway. It was like a full transformation to the fact that this is not just some tribe woman that's with the Doctor. This is a companion that's with the Doctor, that's with all the different outfits, that's part of the different parts of future and history and stuff. So, yeah. Big moment.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about the Dr. Sherlock Holmes outfit as well. We talked about Zilda's outfit for some reason. I don't know, I just thought
you
Zilda's
liked that outfit.
Amazing. The sort of foil, the weird. Yeah, I'm not sure about those hats still. I don't think they were award worthy. They were just unusual.
I just love Giuliano's legs in tights.
You love Giuliano's legs. Give us a wave for those legs, Giuliano. There we go.
One now.
And Sarah Jane's Andy Pandy outfit, I think we all know what that means. Like, that is very... Out of all of her outfits, actually. I mean, you've liked a lot of her outfits. And that is the one that I see that a lot of conventions. That is a cosplay.
Yeah,
like, loads of people wear that.
But it's very easy to do, but it's also such like an iconic of the era sort of thing as well. Like the time that we're in, and yeah, it's just a great outfit. And it's even commented on, isn't it? Like they even say like the one that looks like Andy Pandy. It even gets like that. So it's such a great outfit.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was thinking about dungarees the other day. I've never worn any. I might Maybe I should try some.
Yeah, try some.
I don't know if they would suit me. I don't know. I feel like I'm too tall for
You can
dungarees.
get long ones, though.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, they are quite long. I have to roll all mine up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's something I would wear out or not. I don't know. I'd have to get used to them, I think. It's just something I've never worn. But maybe I should try and find some. Maybe not like Andy Pandy ones, just like...
Find your tribe, find your dungaree tribe and...
Yeah, just some like denim ones or something. I don't know. I
love my denim ones. I've got 3, haven't I? I've got my denim ones.
Oh yeah, you wear like quite a lot. Yeah.
I've got denim, I've got sloths, and I've got some burnt orange ones.
Do you want to announce? Yeah, the winner.
I will announce the winner. And the winner of Best Outfit for Season 14 at the Doscars for the first time is... Sarah Jane's Andy Pandy outfit. Yay!
Yeah, absolutely. Had to be. And unfortunately, Sarah Jane couldn't be here tonight. She got dropped off in the wrong place in the TARDIS. So D84 will take that to her. We'll get that to her, and I'm sure she'll be very pleased with that. I don't know if that actual outfit still exists in like, you know, collectors stuff, because when, you know, like Doctor Who Experience and stuff, sometimes they have like original costumes and things. There's been I think there's some Sarah Jane ones there. I don't know if those actual ones still exist. Maybe they do somewhere. I'm sure someone's got them.
It's just such a great outfit.
Yeah, well done. And a really good one for our first... Oh my god, when we get quite a few of these, when we remember every time to do the outfit category, we can do like a little fashion segment or a fashion... I'll do like a fashion guidebook to all of the winners.
A fashion tea towel.
Yeah, some kind of fashion thing when we have all those outfits together. Or I could like try and make them all.
Oh, we're not doing that again. I remember the hat. I remember Mark making of hats.
Yeah. Do you know what? I might try and make a Sarah Jane dungaree.
You're going to make Sarah Jane dungarees?
I don't know.
Let's move on.
I'm sure it can. People do.
Of course they do.
Conventions.
But you make your things out of paper.
I'd make it properly. I'd rather make that than Giuliano's tie. Next cosplay, I'll be Giuliano from the Mask of Mandragora and see how many people get it.
Yeah, see how many people get the reference to the tights.
Yeah. Okay, right. Next category then. Best story. So we had 6 stories this season, and we've got it down to 4. So the nominees are...
Hand of Fear.
Don't forget me.
Sarah, don't you forget me.
The Deadly Assassin.
Oh, I say, weren't you expelled or something? Some scandal?
Oh, it's all been forgotten about now, boy.
Oh, really?
Robots of Death.
Yeah. I suppose it's also a coincidence that as soon as you two arrive, 3 of our people are killed.
Talons of Wang Chiang.
Some paperwork commands my presence yet a while, but I shall doubtless descry those lugubrious lineaments at the crepuscular hour.
I think if you've listened to our previous episodes, you would have guessed that, because we didn't really like
The Mask of Mandragora.
Story-wise.
We did, but it was just a bit... It didn't go anywhere as a story, yeah.
And Face of Evil, similar. The story, there were bits of the story that we weren't really happy with. Like, we like the characters and stuff. So then that leaves these 4. Like, Hand of Fear, great. Again, we loved Eldrad, Sarah's Last Story, Dungarees, all of that. Miss Jackson and the nuclear manager guy.
Whenever you say Miss Jackson, I get that. Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Is it Sorry, Miss Jackson? But I get that da-da-da-da-da in my head every
that's what
time.
I did. Yeah, sorry, Miss Jackson. There she is with the nuclear manager over there having a terrination, having a night off. Of course, they work really hard at that power station, especially since it blew up. They've had to rebuild it.
Yeah. Of course.
And Deadly Assassin, we've not really mentioned that one, but that was quite a big story in this season with all the Time Lord stuff, Doctor on his own, the Master. A lot happened in that one.
Leela.
No, not Leela.
Leela.
Not Leela.
It was just the Doctor. Sorry, I'm already mixing things up.
And
Standard.
the Robots of Death. We really like that one all round. And Talons of Weng Chiang as well, which
is a great
is
story.
a really good one as well. So really strong, even and for a 6-parter as well. You know, you enjoyed it. So
yeah, I really did.
So and not many 6-parters can say that. So, although actually, no, saying that, like some of those 7-parters you liked, I think.
Sometimes things surprise you, but generally, I'm a 4-parter fan. I like a nice rounded story that concludes well, and I don't mind a 6-parter if it can follow through. If it justifies being a 6-parter, which Talons of Weng Chiang did.
Okay. Well, I'll announce the winner. Okay, so the winner of Best Story, Season 14, is The Talons of Weng Chiang. Yay! Of course, a round of applause in the Palace Theatre. Yay!
We often choose the last story of the season.
I wonder. No, it's not because it's the freshest. It's.
But generally, I think they tend to be the strongest.
I mean, I don't think they really went for the whole season finale thing. Maybe something bigger happens in some of them. So what do we have? Hang on, what was last? I'm just going to consult our wiki and see who won.
We've definitely had like...
Oh, yes!
I can't remember.
Yeah, last season. Seeds of Doom was last season, with the 6-parter, with the plants.
And then the one before that was...
The one before that was... Genesis of the Daleks. That was a big 6-parter, but it wasn't the end of the season. I think there was one more. It was towards the end. Then what do we have before that as well? Let's go back into... Oh, Invasion of the Dinosaurs was the 3rd Doctor one. So yeah, like Seeds of Doom last season was.
We've had like what was the one with gosh, my gosh, I can't. The one in the village.
One in the village. Android Invasion.
No, and there was the gargoyle.
Oh,
that came
the demons.
Yeah. The demons. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I just couldn't think what it was called. The demons was the last in the season, no, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had like not always, but we have quite often. I think a lot of the time, the end of the season 1, they probably know at the start that that's going to need the most work. So it's either the longest or it's the one that like needs the most tech or the most build up or something like that, whereby that's usually not always, but usually that's why it's the most impressive. Even if it's like it'll be the Doctor's last story or someone's last story or something like that, you know. There's usually a reason why the last, even if it's nothing story-wise to build to.
Why did we give Best Story to the Underwater Menace that time?
Because we enjoyed it?
Yeah, that's just funny. Just looking back.
Just looking back at our thinking.
Anyway, yes, really good. And here is Ghoul to collect the award for us. Thank you so much, Ghoul. Don't drop it in the river. Thank you. There we are. Right. Icon of the season next.
We're halfway through.
The categories. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think there's 10 categories now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good. No.
And that's 5.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Everyone make sure you're topped up. You've got your drinks and everything. Yeah, you're all doing well. Time Lords are all getting a bit sloshed over there.
Excellent.
They're serving crispy master treats. And here's Mary Whitehouse. She's here to watch the show. Everybody be on your best behaviour. No violence, please. Leela, put your knife away. Mr. Sin, put your knife away.
Knives
away, everybody. Right. Icon of the season. Oh, this is a good one. So, well, there's just one winner. We just announce who it is on this one.
Do we?
Yeah, Icon, yeah. We just say.
I have 3.
We had what we talked about. We had a short list, and
Yes,
then
we
we
should
decided to
say
win.
short list.
No, we never do. We never do.
We've never had it before.
Icon, yeah.
No, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. We just say that one, and I think this might be a shock. Do you want to announce?
Yes. Okay. So the icon of the season is the TARDIS console room.
Yay! The new TARDIS console room.
We were trying to think, what do we think of when we think of the season? And ironically, we do think of that control room and the new one.
Yeah, and the definition of icon of the season is something along the lines of someone or something that has influenced that season for better or for worse.
Yeah, something that we remember that sticks out when we think of season 14. What's that thing? What's that major change? What's that really? Yeah.
I mean, we did talk about Leela, Eldred, and the Doctor, but I think something about that console room. I really love it. I like the wood panelling and the sort of a darker feel, but also that's in a lot of the stories as well, like the Talons of Weng Chiang, Robots of Death. They've got a bit that colour palette.
Since we've seen the console room, so it's nice to see it again and it be this dark wood.
Yeah, but it just sort of follows through into the stories as well in a way. It's that tone. There's a bit of a tone in this story, which started actually, in
Mandragora.
It was quite dark. What else do we have? Yeah, Deadly Assassin. Yeah, it's just got that weird. It just, I don't know, it all fits. And there you go. TARDIS console. There we go. Well done. I don't know how we're just gonna put that award in the console room. It's gonna be on top of that little plinth in there in the background
with some wood. It'll be in the wood there. Yeah.
It'll be there somewhere. So we'll get someone to put that in there for us. We have the Time Lords to sort that out. The Time Lords can come and collect it for us. They'll sort it out.
So what's the next category, Mark?
The next category is Best Regular.
Yeah, it's a nice short category.
Very short, yeah. So we've only got the three: the Doctor, Sarah Jane, and Leela, newcomer Leela. We've had... Who did we have last time? Let's just see. So Sarah won last season. The Doctor won the season before that. And Sarah won the season before that as well. Because Sarah Jane was absolutely amazing. And she did 2 stories in this season. I don't know, it doesn't feel like she was in this season. It seems ages ago, doesn't it?
No, yeah, it does. It really does.
And we've said that like Tom Baker, the Doctor, is just still 100% consistent. It's going to be really interesting watching in order right the way through just to see if he does change. I feel like he's still on that same level at the moment. He's still serious when he's serious, and he's still got those... Maybe he's a little bit more serious than he was in when he first started out, but the Doctors always take a bit of a while, don't they?
Yes, yeah.
It's a different relationship with Leela than it was with Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe we can talk about that next season when we get into more of that.
And Leela's had a great introduction. I mean, she's had 3 stories.
I'm really glad you like Leela, because I wasn't sure how it would go. I don't know, because she's such a difference between Sarah
but I think I was just ready for that. I was just ready for something so different. Should we announce...
Okay, sorry. No, go for it, yeah.
Do you want to announce the winner?
Oh, yeah, I'll just get the envelope. Thank you very much. From Mr. Sin, just handing me that from his magic box. And the winner of Best Regular is Leela. Yes. Of course, here she is in her wonderful theatre dress to collect the award. Yeah, what was I going to say? Because I wasn't always a fan of Leela. I always thought, I didn't always like her character. I did find her a little bit annoying, I think, back. But at the moment, I'm really enjoying, I think, again, in order, watching her and knowing how amazing Louise Jameson is. I should tell you, actually, I haven't said this yet. When I met Louise Jameson...
Right.
I'll just tell you a story. Why not? So it was this really small convention in Cardiff a couple of years ago. And it was down at the actually not too far from you, down at the Novotel.
Oh, yeah.
Like down at the bay. A really small thing, and it was like a fundraiser thing. And you paid like 15 quid, and it was coffee with Louise Jameson. So you sat in the hotel bar, and there was like 4 of us and her. and we just sat round, had a drink, and she just chatted for, just about anything and everything. And I was a bit shy. I didn't really ask too many questions. I was just listening to her, and she just talked about all of this stuff, and it was great. And actually, that was the one where before I'd gone up and got something signed by her, and she was saying, "Oh, what do you do? Where do you work and everything?" Obviously, I was working at the gates, yeah. and I was talking about that, and she was like, and I was saying, it's a small theatre arts centre place in Cardiff, and she was like, "Oh, I'm looking somewhere for my new play. Tell me about it." I was thinking, I don't think it's going to work there. I didn't want her to go there because I was just like, it's not going to work.
No.
And so anyway, I gave her the website and all the details and stuff. I was like, have a look, and everything, because she was just like really interested, and I was like, okay. And then when we had this chat, someone was asking about like what you do next. She's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to be touring my play." It's like sort of one woman like play thing that she was doing. And she was like, and I was talking to someone earlier actually, and it might be that. And I was like, oh my god, she didn't realise it was me. So I was like, I should say something. I was like, yeah, that was me you were talking to earlier. And she looked at me, she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What a faux pas. Because she completely forgot that she had talked to me about it. And then she hugged me and she was like, I'm so sorry. And she was really embarrassed. I didn't mean to make her really embarrassed, but I couldn't just she was saying, I was talking to this young man
just
earlier,
in case
blah,
she
blah,
said
blah.
anything, it would have been worse. Yeah,
I know, in case she said something. But she was so nice. She's talking about her time in EastEnders and all the different sort of jobs she's done and working with Stephen Burkoff.
Oh, I know the name.
I hate Stephen Burkoff. He's done a lot of plays. He's got a certain style. I don't think he's a very nice person, because she was saying she was doing this play. It was like quite recently she'd done it, and he was just so horrible, and she got really upset and like cried. She was the only woman there, and they were really horrible to her, that she was saying about this play. And I don't like Stephen Burkoff because I did a play of his in A-level drama, and it was really awful and terrible.
Okay, fair enough.
So he's not great. He's been in Doctor Who. He does come up in Doctor Who, Stephen Burkoff. So we'll talk about that when he does. And he had a bad time on Doctor Who as well.
Okay.
But I've met Louise Jameson a couple of times after that, and she's always really lovely to chat to and stuff. Did you know she was in EastEnders?
I didn't know. No.
She was in it in sort of the late 90s. She was the DeMarco family.
Okay.
She was like, they didn't last too long. I don't think they were that popular. She was in it for, sort of towards the sort of late 90s. She had a regular part in it. She said some really interesting stuff about being in that as well. But yeah, there we go. That's my Louise Jameson story. Next category.
Yeah, next category.
Oh, another new one.
Yeah, bring it.
Best cliffhanger.
This is a good category.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't think of this one before, actually. But shall I read them out?
Yes, you go for it.
Okay. It's difficult to explain these ones. So, the nominees are the hand coming alive in the box in The Hand of Fear, the Doctor's foot getting stuck in the train track in The Deadly Assassin, the Doctor drowning or being drowned by Goth in The Deadly Assassin, and Zoannon shouting, "Who am I?" in The Face of Evil. Do you know what? I should have written down the actual episode numbers that they were from.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Everyone knows it. We all know it. It's all fans listening. It's fine. We all know what we're talking about.
I mean, they're great. They're great cliffhangers. We had some really great moments this season. The Hand of Fear box, definitely one we remember. The moving of the hand. The train track as well. That was one I definitely had on my list as well. Sort of a
little train coming towards you.
Yeah. But yeah, it didn't seem that way. But yeah.
Oh, and the drowning at the end. I'm whispering because Mary Whitehouse is here and she doesn't like us talking about this.
Yeah.
But drowning at the end of that episode in The Deadly Assassin.
And then just all the echoes of the Who Am I, just like the drama and the tension of it.
That one shocked me the most when I first saw it. I have no idea. And I was like, It wasn't like I was a kid or anything. I was like 20 or something when I first saw that. And I was like, I don't know, it's just odd. It was just unexpected.
It's still, you still feel that. That's really interesting. So yeah, I think they're really good. And yeah, like you said, I'm surprised we haven't had this category before. It's a cool category to have.
I mean, we did also talk about the face mountain in Face of Evil, the Doctor's face, Leela and the rat. I wasn't as impressed with that one.
No, I wasn't even.
Mr. Sin, again, award winner Mr. Sin coming through the door as well, and Leela ripping the face off Magnus Greel as well, which I think is very memorable for people. They're really good. This time is really good, and last season as well. They're great for cliffhangers, and I do love a freeze frame cliffhanger.
I know
think the Drowning one was freeze frame. It's that same director every time. It's just that one director that does freeze frames.
He loves the freeze frame.
So I think they should all be freeze frames. I think they've missed a trick there.
Do you want to announce our winner?
Yeah, okay. And the winner of Best Cliffhanger is The Hand in the Box. The Hand in the Box. In the Hand of Fear. I was going to say Hand of Evil then. Yay!
I mean, it's such a good cliffhanger. But you just don't expect it. You just don't see it. It's really memorable. Sarah's in that Andy Pandy outfit. Like,
an audience, if you look under your seats, you've all got a hand in a box. Yay, for free.
Oh, God.
It's free Tupperware and a hand. Yeah, okay. I don't know who's coming up to collect that Eldred, I suppose. It's your hand.
It's your hand. You better come and get it back. We'll have Eldreds everywhere otherwise, of all these hands in boxes.
Yeah. Right.
We've got 2 to go, haven't we?
2 more to go. Right. Can I read my own writing? What the hell did we write down for this? You might have to tell me these. What do you want to announce these?
I mean, I've got them, but they're in random order, so you're going to have to remember what the category titles are.
The nominees for worst
Oh, sorry, you didn't announce that. You just then did. It's fine. We hadn't announced what category it was.
And we yeah, so it's worst moment next, everybody. Sorry, it's
which is a regular favourite, I think, of our listeners. I feel like it is. We talk a lot about worst moment, and it's just harder.
But to be fair to Doctor Who, yeah, it is getting more and more difficult. That is praise to the production team and the 70s, that it is more and more difficult than it was. You know, sometimes you get a season in the 60s where it was very easy for all of those moments. But at right now in time, as we are in 76, it is very difficult to find anything that's a problem. So, but we have found some. So, the nominees for worst moment are the robot's shoes in The Robots of Death, Zilda's upset acting scene in The Robots of Death,
You did it, Ivana!
the giant rat in The Talons of Weng Chiang, and Lee Sen Chang's casting in The Talons of Weng Chiang.
Chang, shoot 15 peasants. Morning, this flick.
Ooh, we got some faces out there in the audience thinking about this.
I mean, let's do this in reverse. We did talk. We don't need to talk about it again because we talked about it extensively in the episode, but we've talked a lot about the casting. So, I mean, we don't, go back and listen to that because we had quite an extensive discussion on it. But it's something that definitely wouldn't be happening nowadays. And I think it's good that we've recognised it here.
Yeah, absolutely. Giant rat. There's always one thing that lets down a great story. I think, unfortunately, it is the rat, or what you thought it might have been a dog in the sewer to begin with.
Yeah, I was so confused what it was. And then when I did see it, I was like, oh, that's so bad.
It's a shame because it's a great idea and it does fit so well in that story. And it's just that they just don't have the money or the capability at that time to make something as effective than that. They did shoot it a lot in the dark though, because you couldn't see it very well, which is sometimes they don't do that in Doctor Who. They just, I'm sure there's been monsters where they're just like, let's just show all of its flaws in bright light. They were as clever as they could to be quite close up and not really see it that much. So you try and use your imagination a little bit, but even those close-ups, it just looks a bit too fluffy and a bit too
It
cuddly.
looks like, toy rats. The literally someone has just made a big version of that. And when I think of giant rat, I think of something like scary and like red eyes and like, and that's not what that was.
No. Although I have to say the new version on the Blu-ray is a big improvement. It does look much better. That's what they've done. But because it let that down, that's why it's here.
Zelda's action scene was the other one that we talked about. So, we just have to be real specific here. Zelda's acting was absolutely fine throughout, apart from that one scene where she's crying in a room and then starts screaming and saying, "You did it!" But it was just so bad. And it had been like there was nothing to indicate that it. Sometimes we have bad acting, and like from the start, it's bad. But that scene was just, I don't know whether she just had lunch and like come back in and wasn't feeling it. Like it was just so bad. Like we watched it separately and we were both like, that was bad.
Maybe the backstory, maybe she couldn't get her motivation. She wasn't really sure what she was upset about.
I don't know.
It's something to do with the part, like I think it was her brother dying or something, and she found out the documents. I'm so sorry, Zilda. She's great in the rest of it.
So good in the rest of it. And then just that one scene, it was just so like hammy and bad. I was like, what is happening?
I think some of our listeners also agreed with us on that as well. That does let it down. But that bad acting and in that hat, it's just not a great combination, is it? But,
no.
Luckily, it was only that one scene.
It was. And then the other final thing was the robot shoes.
Tinfoil shoes.
Because the rest of the robots are so good. Like, they look great. They look really effective. And then you just look down and see those shoes. And they do shots of the shoes. And it's literally just, it looks like someone's put tinfoil around some tissue boxes.
Well, yeah, they have.
Yeah. And
they actually have.
That is what it is. And it looks it. And it looks so shit compared to like the rest of the outfit. Which
they must
awesome.
have. Because the whole set and the design of the whole, those robots, they all look great. They're all here tonight. They look brilliant, don't they? Walking around this theatre. And yeah, you just get that shot. They didn't have to even do a close-up of the shoes, knowing that they look like that.
No, it's bizarre. But whenever you see them, I'm like, why are they showing these shoes?
I would have taken the budget with everybody's hats. I would have not had anybody wearing a hat. Used that budget, bought a load of Doc Martens, sprayed them black or silver or whatever, and give them really solid shoes. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Like 40 years ago, I had to phone up and be like, by the way, you should have done this. But that's all they needed to do. And it just would have been, they just need a solid boot just to wear real shoes. Just shoes. Just anybody's shoes would have been so much better than a tissue box. I don't understand. Just any normal shoes sprayed silver. Surely that couldn't have cost that much.
No, it's really bizarre. It's a really bizarre choice.
Yeah. But there it is. There forever. Watched by millions of people. Forevermore. Shoebox robots.
Yeah. Do you want me to say the winner?
Yes, please.
So, the winner of Worst Moment is Zelda's acting scene.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Zelda. There we are. Come and collect your award. You can have Terry Nations on the house tonight. All of you in the Sand Miner crew in consolation.
It was so weird because it was such a good story. It was such a good concept and idea. And then that just felt so weirdly left field, didn't it? It was so bad and left field. Yeah. I was just like, oh. If that had been great, her scene, It would have sold the whole thing so much more. But that scene just I think about it sometimes, just like when I'm sat there, just how bad that one scene was compared to the rest of it. She was so good. She was so good in the rest of it, and then that one scene, it was so hammy. It was so hammy. We've moved away from that.
I'm trying to think of other worst moment. If anybody else's acting has come into worst moment, we've had Pads talking in terms of acting. I'm just trying to see what else. A lot of them are more sort of design. I don't know if anybody's acting has come into it in terms of. They've been like story points or something. I'm just having a look through.
Like we had the whole story of.
The Doctor's coffee moment.
Oh God, the coffee
moment. Tom's hit. Worst moment, the music. Yeah, people's an acting scene. This is a proper first time. Eye patch storyline was last time. So yeah, we haven't really had anyone's bad acting. What was off season 1? This is such useful wiki page. The whole of the Edge of Destruction. I mean, Zilda's in good company. Oh, the Robot Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robot Doctor could be considered bad acting.
Sort of acting, yeah. So this is the first time it's really stood out enough to be worst moment. Sorry, Zilda. At least it was only one scene. It wasn't like the
this
whole
also
story.
comes down to the fact that it's so strong, it gets a lot harder, and those moments, like that's the sort of hammy acting scene I'd expect in the 60s, not now in season 14, and that's why it just stood out so much. I was like, what is happening? And she's so good in the rest of it. It's so frustrating that when it happened, I was like, what is she doing? What is going on? Like, is it on purpose? I'm so confused.
There we are. Well, we are now on to our last category of the night. It's been a great night. I feel like we've been standing on this stage for quite a long time.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
But it's been wonderful. And Katarina's done a really good job keeping the lighting going for us.
We've been on this stage for 3 weeks, so...
We've been here a long time. Oh, we're ready to get out of the Victorian times after this.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's... the food's not been great.
I don't know, I've had a lot of... I know the Muffin Man really well now, on Drury Lane.
The Muffin Man. We've been staying at Lightfoot's house, and he's got a great buffet. The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man? He lives on Drury Lane.
I wondered why you were saying he was on Drury Lane.
That's a tune.
Well, Marty McCutcheon will be performing that in the bar later, so we'll all get to learn that one. Right. Yes, we are announcing this is what am I talking about? The Sir Ian Chesterton Heroic Moment Award, and this one is voted by our coffee members. Right. Well, I will announce the nominees, and they are. I don't know what's going on. Giuliano breaking the mould and being open-minded about science in his time in
The Mask of Mandragora.
I have this theory, you see, that the world is really a sphere.
D84 sacrificing himself, the robots of death.
Goodbye, my friend.
Leela taking the place of a Victorian lady and infiltrating Weng Chiang's lair in the Talons of Weng Chiang. And Jago and Lightfoot going off to investigate without the Doctor in the Talons of Weng Chiang.
Well, I'm not so badly brave when it comes to it. I try to be, but I'm not.
When it comes to it, I don't suppose anybody is.
Yeah, some really good heroic moments there.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I was agreeing, yes.
So Leela had to be there in some way. She's done quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and we just picked this one moment, didn't we? Because
Well, I think this one stood out for me the most because she is helping somebody else directly. She's helping those Victorian ladies and putting herself up front in danger, going off on her own. I mean, you wanted her like jumping out the window and all that kind of stuff, being brave. But this is where, I mean, with a companion, sometimes it's slightly different because, well, actually, especially with Leela, because she's already got a knife. She's going around killing people still herself, but actually doing something a bit more with a bit of a plan, like I'm going to go here, I'm going to follow, not just leaping into it, where normally she would go into the fight and, stab someone or kill someone. Here she's thinking, she's plotting through, she's putting herself in danger and seeing what happens. So because in her way, that is more of a out of the mould bravery moment.
Yeah.
And Jago and Lightfoot.
Yeah, I mean, our epic duo. How many seasons do they have, Mark?
at least 13, possibly more. But yeah, they are real heroes here because they are the everyday people that have to step up, and that's what this award is about. I mean, Jago is more of a comedy sort of, and a bit more cowardly, and he has that moment where he says to Lightfoot, "I'm not actually that brave, really." Lightfoot's a bit more sensible, and I think he's scared. He gets scared as well, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So they complement each other and they help each other, and they're going through that. They go through the dumb waiter, don't they, and everything, and they go off and they sort of enjoy the adventure, and you can see exactly why they have 13 series.
And this is where they step out of their characters' comfort zones to investigate. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I have to say as well, in this one of their series,
right.
It's not really I mean, you're not going to listen to them all, so I can spoil them. In series 5, actually at the end of series 4, one of the doctors comes and they go off with him for a few adventures, and then he drops them back in the 1960s. So they have a whole series where they're stuck in the 1960s and run like a club in the 60s instead of Victorian times. It's great. And investigate stuff in the 60s. Then they go back to their normal time. So it's brilliant. So yeah, they have a wonderful time in their series.
Yeah, I can imagine. But no, they're great. They're really good.
And Giuliano.
Now you put this one so you can explain it.
Well, I thought you.
Don't get me wrong, I love Giuliano, and I'd have just had him in heroically because he had his legs out. But you were the one that was like, because of the science, and I was like, any excuse to put Giuliano in a category, I'm up for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was quite difficult to find other hero moments in this because, like I said, it could have all gone down to Leela, but Giuliano stood out in a different way. If we're talking about, because he inherited the kingdom, for want of a better word, and he was more. That whole story was about looking at the science of things. A bit. What's his name? I want to say Galileo. In a Galileo type way, who was ahead of his time. Didn't he say the world was round or something and nobody believed him?
Yeah, and Da Vinci's one of his friends that's coming and stuff like that. Yeah.
All that kind of. So you have that time where mindsets are changing and actually people are being sort of less religious. Isn't that why the Mask of Mandragora went there? Because it was the turning point and it was the last time it could be where people would believe religious stuff and culty stuff and they weren't thinking of science as much, or it was on the cusp of it or something like that. So Giuliano sort of represents that new world thinking, and he's not going to go as people before him, and I can see him running his kingdom in a bit more of an open way. So he's been brave in that sense of looking ahead and embracing some of the science of his world, although it's still very primitive at that time, and he's probably going to get a lot of stick for it and people aren't going to believe him and you're going to get that sort of science religion thing. But I can see Giuliano having his own 13 series out there doing the science in Italy. Giulio and Marco investigate. It will be amazing. So that's why he's there. A bit of an unusual one, but I think he deserves a place. And his legs, obviously.
And his legs.
And then D84 is the big sacrifice for this series. There's always somebody that sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
And D84 was quite a surprise, actually, because you don't know what his intentions are to begin with. He's investigating undercover and he's not supposed to speak, and Leela discovers that he speaks. And then he becomes a bit of a companion with the Doctor in that story. And then, he gets, I think he stabs, he does what he has to do and he kills himself
He
at the end.
sacrifices himself for,
Yeah, and he could have gone on.
And he's so lovely, and like they even say something to him like, "You don't need," and he knows he has to. But he's a great character. Running up to it, that when that moment happens, you feel quite sad.
Yeah, but he's here tonight, so it's all fine. He's been fixed. So, but he is brave and have that robot character that's supposed, because he's not, doesn't have the emotions or anything like that. He just does his duty and knows what he has to do. And yeah, it's a really effective moment.
It really is.
D84 is wonderful. Yeah, so the votes are in. And I can now reveal the winner. And obviously this is somebody that Ian would be proud of.
Yeah.
Sir Ian.
He's
the winner of the Sir Ian Chesterton Heroic Moment Award Season 14 is D84 sacrificing himself. Yeah, well deserved. Absolutely well deserved. Well done. Up there with Charlie the Barman.
Do you know what? We always remember Charlie the Barman. We don't always remember the others, but we always remember Charlie the Barman. Barbara and the Bus.
Barbara and the Bus.
Or whatever.
Sarah Jane climbing the scaffolding. The third Doctor facing his fears. Who else have we had? We've had Wester sacrificing himself in Planet of the Daleks. Do you remember Wester?
Sort of. I definitely remember Charlie the Barman though.
Miss Hawthorne has won that award as well.
Yeah, Miss Hawthorne deserved that award.
Of course. Liz being chased in Bessie. That's back in the day. All of those people. He deserves a place. That D84 with Faria from Enemy of the World.
Oh, Faria. Yeah.
Yeah. And see Charlie the Barman as well. So absolutely well deserved. What a bunch. A lineup. What an amazing lineup. And who won last time? Amelia Ducar won last time.
We can't always be to blame for this, can I just say, as it is also voted for by coffee members, so...
Oh yeah, that is true. But we didn't have that when Charlie the Barman was around, so
and
we only have ourselves
Charlie
to
the
blame.
Barman forever, so excellent choice for that season's winner.
I don't think it's the Doscars without mentioning Charlie. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we get to this category.
Yeah, wow. Well, there's a lot to take in there and a lot of winners celebrating tonight. I think we're all going to stay here, aren't we? We've got, Martin McCutcheon's coming on after this to do My Fair Lady, so we are all getting ready for that.
Tours will start downstairs, like I mentioned before.
Yeah, so if you'd rather have the dungeon tour, you can do that as well. So it's all the Victorian entertainment is happening tonight. And Mr. Sin will do a bit of magic.
The Muffin Man's here. And he's just bringing in more muffins for everyone to sober up.
There we go. There we are. Oh, there's Edith. She is here, having a muffin. Great. And also, I'm very excited to say Edith will be out on Blu-ray very soon. In the next season 2 box set. So finally that day has come. Her moment in the spotlight for the wider world is going to happen very soon.
Say that. In all her HD.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Right, well, we better head off then, and we're going to have a bit of a week off before we're back again for season 15. 1-5.
I know. I can't believe we're at 15. And I say this every season. I'm like, I can't believe we're here. But every season it's a surprise to me that I'm still watching it.
We're over halfway of the classic series.
Oh my gosh.
We are over halfway.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So
time flies when you're watching Doctor Who.
Yeah, it does. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 2WatchWho. Let us know what you think about those winners. Were they deserved or not? Was there anybody that we missed? I'm sure there was. I'm sure we will be told.
Yes, I'm sure we will.
But then, in the meantime, join us very soon for the beginning of season 15 and Horror of Fang Rock, which I'm quite excited about. And we'll see how the next season develops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
All I want is room somewhere